I am so excited to welcome our next guest back to the show. Besides being a face we know and love from film, TV, and a previous episode of Liftoff, Golden Globe, Emmy nominee, and environmentalist Ed Begley Jr. is right here with us again, this time sharing personal and business insights from his life and his new book. Welcome back to Liftoff, Ed.
Jeannie, thank you so much for having me on again.
And it is so good to see you again. And we now are celebrating the fact that you've added author to your tremendous list of accomplishments. Tell us, we want to know what motivated you to sit down and write this book after so many years.
I'm probably not the first person in America or the world whose daughter or son or grandchild came up to me and said, I want to record something on my phone. Tell me the stories about your grandparents coming over from Ireland and tell me a bit about your father's growing up here and tell me a little bit about your life, your life, Dad, before they had movable type and talkies. Tell me what that was like. So we started to do that, but then she wasn't busy every minute of every day. So I thought, I got to take some notes for her on my computer so she'll have this to add when she transcribes what she got from her cell phone. And that's when it happened, Jeannie. The the keyboard became like a Ouija board that actually worked. It started to take me to all these different parts of the memory of my, like a house full of memories up to the attic and down the basement of my mind to these different things I haven't thought of in 30, 40, 50 years sometimes. And it was just great for me to write down just for my kids and grandkids. Pretty soon somebody looked at it and went, wait a minute, I think that's a book. I think you have a book in your hands. You just don't know it yet. So I submitted it to an agent.
You know, what I love about your book is that you are brutally honest and critical about the choices you made early in your life. Especially, you talk about choices made while under the influence of mood altering substances. People would not be as brave as you to talk about that. Were you hesitant to share what seems so personal and introspective about yourself in the book?
I was not. I wanted to talk about it openly and freely because it's something I've dealt with from a very young age. I had a certain amount of pain as a young person growing up. We all do, and emotional pain I'm talking about. And so I decided to numb that by stealing some sleeping pills from the medicine chest. And so that was the first way I started to numb things out. Then I started to smoke pot in excess and smoke a lot of pot. I was kind of numbed out and zoned out from that. And then I started drinking a quart of vodka every day. I built up to it, but pretty quick, I was drinking a quart of vodka every day. And so that was it. I would take anything that I could to alter my mood. And I'm one of those people that thinks before it started to kill me, drugs and alcohol, it actually saved me because I was such an emotional wreck. I didn't do the kind of work one needs to do to solve these problems, to begin to solve these problems through therapy and self reflection and other means of meditation. So I'm very grateful that I got well on all those fronts.
Yeah, well, there, like I said earlier, there's so many people that live through things like that. And for the good and bad, it helps shape who they are, but they often don't talk about it. So tremendous kudos to you for just sharing that because I think it makes so many people encouraged that they can get through everything that they're dealing with and end up being good, fine, successful, have a family and have a future just like you do. And so your book is filled with so many great stories, including the first time that you met John Lennon and Yoko Ono. You got to tell the viewers a little bit about that chapter, but not too much because I want everyone to read the book.
Harry Nilsson gave me many, many gifts. He was a great singer, songwriter, a great friend. Taught me the great trick. It's a math trick where you can tell what date in a year, what day of the week it is. He taught me that wonderful math trick. He introduced me to Eric Idle and the Monty Python gang. And then one day he said, we're going to have dinner with some friends tonight. We'll pick you up. You want to join us? I said, sure. Joined Una and Harry Nilsson and went to the Dakota Hotel. Then I started to think the wheels were turning. Went, the Dakota, this is 1975. It couldn't be. No, he wouldn't just go up to that apartment, would he? He goes up there and they're opening the door themselves to John and Yoko. Hello, coming in. How are you? I know you. Do I know you? He said, pointing at me. I'm trying to keep my face from crystallizing and, cracking and falling to the floor. So John Lennon's trying to see if he knows me. And I saw about halfway through the evening went, oh my God, Nettie Hartman, Yoko, it's a deaf mute from Nettie Hartman. And he was like a fan with me. What's Louise Lasser like? Tell me about that. Norman Lear, he's wonderful. And on. And he was just this wonderful seemed to be normal guy. There was anything but. He was a great genius that one of the greatest geniuses I've ever met in my life. And but he wanted to be treated like a normal guy, and he acted like a normal guy. It was just amazing.
Well, you're such a Hollywood icon, and it was such a pleasure having you on Liftoff. Again, come back anytime. And for everybody watching, you've got to read this book.
Thank you, Jeannie.
All right, everybody, go get the book. And in between, sit down and watch the rest of the show. We'll be right back.